You know, when you hear the word cannabinoid, your mind probably goes to one place, a plant. But what if I told you your own body is running a massive, complex network of cannabinoid super switches? It's true. They regulate some of our most critical functions, and today we're going to dive into some absolutely groundbreaking science that could let us control them with incredible pinpoint precision.
So, this internal system presents a really fascinating puzzle. Some of these switches, well, they have these amazing protective effects, but flipping others can be seriously, dangerously harmful. So, the big challenge for scientists, the billion-dollar question, is this: can we actually create a master key that only flips the good switches and just leaves the bad ones completely alone?
All right, so to even start answering that question, we first need to meet the main characters in this story. Let's break down the system and its two most important players, its two most important receptors.
So, what are we even talking about here? It's called the Endocannabinoid System, or the ECS for short. And this isn't some weird foreign thing. It is a fundamental part of your biology. Think of it like a master regulator. Its whole job is to maintain balance, homeostasis, in everything from your mood and your appetite to how you feel pain and how your immune system responds to threats. It's huge. Okay, so in this system, there are two star players, the CB1 and CB2 receptors. The easiest way to think about them is this. CB1 is the psychoactive switch. It's all over your brain and central nervous system. And yep, it's the main target for THC. It's what causes the high. But then you've got CB2. This is the immune switch. It's mostly found outside the brain, in your immune cells and other tissues. And here's the crucial part. Activating it doesn't do anything psychoactive.
And that really clear difference between these two receptors, well, that's what creates what we can call the cannabinoid dilemma. Because activating this system can be powerfully good for us, but it can also be powerfully bad. Let's start with the villain of our story, the CB1 receptor. When this switch gets flipped, especially in our cardiovascular system, things can go really wrong. We're talking about promoting inflammation in our blood vessels, speeding up the formation of that dangerous plaque, jacking up oxidative stress. It's even linked to the death of heart muscle cells and the scarring of heart tissue. Not good. And look, this isn't just a theoretical risk. This is real. One study found that in the first hour after cannabis use, which, remember, strongly activates that CB1 receptor, a person's risk of having a heart attack skyrockets by nearly 5 times. A 4.8-fold increase. That is a staggering and immediate danger. But then we have the hero, the CB2 receptor. Flip this switch, and you get the complete opposite effect. It actively suppresses inflammation. It helps reduce the buildup of that same dangerous plaque. It literally protects the heart from damage when blood flow gets restricted, and it cuts down on scarring. I mean, this makes it a hugely attractive target for treating all kinds of inflammatory diseases. So, you see the setup, right? The mission for drug designers becomes crystal clear. How in the world do you create a smarter key, one that can selectively unlock all the amazing protective benefits of CB2 while making sure it never, ever even touches that dangerous CB1 lock? Now, the first attempts at this actually went the other way. Scientists created drugs, like one called Rimonabant, that just blocked the bad CB1 receptor. And yeah, it had some metabolic benefits, but it had to be pulled from the market pretty fast because it caused severe psychiatric side effects. We're talking depression, suicidal thoughts. The lesson was learned the hard way. Messing with the CB1 receptor in the brain is an absolute non-starter. So learning from that failure, scientists basically created a 4-point checklist, a new design philosophy for the ideal drug. Number 1, high selectivity. It has to hit CB2 and completely ignore CB1. 2, high potency, so it works at tiny doses. 3, and this is the real game changer, it must be unable to cross the blood-brain barrier. Keep it out of the brain, period. And 4, make it easy. It's got to work as a simple pill. And all of this brings us to a potential breakthrough. A brand new compound designed from the ground up to check every single one of those boxes. A true case study in precision drug design. So, let's meet our hero compound. It's called RNB61, and it was engineered with one and only one goal in mind, to be the most precise key ever made for that good CB2 receptor switch. So how precise are we talking? Get this. RNB61 is 6,800 times more likely to activate the good CB2 receptor than the bad CB1 receptor.
That is not just selective. That is an almost unbelievable level of precision. It's designed to make sure it only hits the target you want it to hit.
So, how did it do on that ideal drug checklist? Well, it got a perfect score, 4 for 4. Selectivity? Excellent, with that incredible 6,800-fold preference. Potency? Also excellent. It works at incredibly low doses. Does it stay out of the brain? Yes. It's actually designed so that a natural bouncer at the brain's door, a protein called P-glycoprotein, literally finds it and kicks it out. And does it work as a pill? Yep, high bioavailability. It checks every single box.
And all that amazing design work, it paid off in a huge way. When researchers actually tested RNB61 on models of serious kidney disease, it showed significant protective and anti-scarring effects. This is the proof of concept. It shows that the theory is right. An ultra-precise key can deliver real, tangible therapeutic benefits.
So what's the big takeaway here? I mean, the story of RMB61, it's really not just about one compound. It's pointing to a much, much larger shift, a whole new strategy for the future of medicine.
When you get right down to it, RNB61 really represents a whole new strategy. We could be looking at the very beginning of therapies that are so precisely targeted, they can treat incredibly complex diseases happening in the body, all while leaving the delicate, complicated chemistry of the brain completely untouched.
And that just leaves us with this final, really fascinating question. For some of our toughest diseases, atherosclerosis, fibrosis, maybe even autoimmune conditions, could the answer lie not in hitting our bodies with blunt instruments, but in learning how to gently and precisely flip the right switches that are already there? This approach, it just might be the key.